This just won't do, this won't do. Fragile!
Oh, Brutus! Sorry, just catching on top of some live reading. What is it you need?
Doesn't matter. My son Squire needs a sword for his history project tomorrow.
Oh, Squire, that's actually pretty cute.
It doesn't matter. He hasn't got any craft ability. I need you to make it. Okay, bye.
Hello, and welcome to the first Fragile craft video that I'll be doing today. As you've probably seen the thumbnail and the intro, today I'll be showing you how to make this very simple. This is shockingly simple. This is very poor craftsmanship on my part, because other things that I've made way more intricate. I'll show you later, but this is just a simple project that if you want to do, where, for example, you have a history project and you need to bring in a very simple prop or model and you forgot to do it until the night before. So this is your way to just quickly whip up a cool prop, probably paint it in about 2 seconds. Like, it's very simple. You can see how simple this is, but it's rigid enough to be used as a prop because there's a piece of wood inside. But I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to travel back in time to see when this was just a piece of wood and a piece of cardboard.
And as I said, we are going to be using a piece of wood. Funnily enough, this piece of wood is the sort of perfect sword shape. Just remember that if you are using a piece of wood that has nails, make sure that they are completely flat and bashed into the wood. I've taken the time to put in the dimensions of different parts of the build so you won't have to eyeball off of the screen. As cardboard is my go-to resource for creating these sorts of things, we'll be using this. Conveniently, these 2 strips of cardboard fit the piece of wood perfectly. Now that we have a new angle and my phone is almost broke, we can start stenciling out the shape of the sword. Start by penciling in a shape that you'd like. We can now cut out the shape following the line we have already made. You can use scissors, scalpels or Stanley knives, but always be careful when using sharp objects. We can now use the already cut sword to stencil on the same shape onto the other piece of cardboard. Once both pieces of cardboard are cut, we can now start focusing on the handle. Start by penciling in the rough shape that you want to cut. Use the same technique that we used on the sword tip. We can now glue the piece of wood onto the cardboard. Be careful when using a hot glue gun, because I have thousands of times when I have burnt myself with the hot glue or the end of the gun. If you need help at any time, ask a responsible adult to help you. Now, the sword is rigid enough so that it won't flap about. To create a sharp edge, glue the insides of each edge and then fold them together. By pressing the 2 edges of cardboard together and holding them, the glue will dry and you'll have a sharper edge than that weird blunt looking one. Repeat this same process for the other edge and make sure to fill in any gaps with hot glue. Ow! Add that to the list of burns. And presto, 2 sharp edges. We can now focus on making the guard for the sword. I don't know, but I think some primal anger took over me. Trace the bottom of the sword onto the piece of cardboard. This is so that when you cut out the guard, it will be able to slip through the handle and sit nicely under the sword's blade. I think it's time for one of those nice editing tricks I see all over the internet. Huh, pretty good. Let's try another. Oh, not as good. Now, glue the two guard pieces together. You can now feed the guard through the handle. If you cut correctly, it should fit snugly. Remember to glue the guard securely in place so that it doesn't fall down. Apply any more glue that you feel is necessary. Now we can address the sides of the handle. We can use the two spare pieces of cardboard we cut when cutting out the handle. Apply this to both sides of the handle. If you feel that the handle is looking pretty bland, you can try wrapping some paper around it so it looks like rags. Don't forget the bottom of the handle. And there you go, a sturdy sword.
Whoa! This is very simple. I cannot believe how simple I've made this. You could probably make this in about 2 minutes flat. I might even speedrun it. But because it's very simple, I think we should have another prop that could maybe wow your teachers. And what goes well with a sword?
A shield. So, we'll need more cardboard for this. Start by cutting the edges of the box to unravel the full shape. Once you've found a big enough piece of cardboard, you can now start tracing the shape of a shield. Once you've cut out the shape, I'm going to be using something called scoring. This is used to create bends in materials. You can do this by lightly running your scalpel down the length of the shield. Run the hot glue gun down the lines that you've scored. This will help hold the shape in place. If you want an extra sturdy shield, cut out another and repeat the process. You can now glue the two shields together. Make sure to use plenty of hot glue. Make sure to cut out any impurities or overlaps. If you want to show your shield has been through a battle, cut out triangles on the edges to show impacts from swords or axes. Now we can cut out the handle for the shield. As the strap for the shield will vary from person to person, I won't show an exact measurement for you to cut out. A glue gun can be used for more than one thing. You can now glue the strap in place. Cut off any excess. And there we go, a sword and a shield. As I'm broke and I use cardboard as a material and I can't buy a camera setup, I think I should show you what I work with.
What even is it?
And there you have it. A very simple shield and a very simple sword to go with your simple sword shield combo. Well, that's going to be it for today. As I say, I make way more complicated stuff. I'll just show you an example. Alright, this is a helmet I made during my exam year, which was not too long ago, but it was off of an image that I found on the internet, which I'll probably show here if I can find it. Look how handsome he is. Look how smoking hot. But if I can't find the image, I'll probably put something in there else. But this helmet was just a fluke of the idea I had, and I thought, wow, this actually looks pretty insane. So then I decided making more props and more cardboard things, and then this led to this hobby of mine. But I'll show you the helmet on now. Here's the helmet on. It's very Tusken Raidery. I did have to change a little bit the aspects, like, I don't know, make it more flat, or add the little thing on the top. But you can see I definitely took inspiration from the image as shown, because it just looks, I like the Mongolian aspect of it. But I'm going to stop rambling because this video is going on for too long. So there you have it. I've shown you my craft. I've shown you how to build a sword and a shield, which is very simple. If you'd like to see more other props that I've made, because I've got a whole house worth of other things that I've been tinkering with, and I thought, where's the simplest place to start? Just sword and shield. So I thought I'd make a video on it and share it to the world and see if people like it. So if you do, make sure to leave a comment. Give me any tips or tricks that you may think of, like painting or just anything that can help me with my craft, or like supplies that I may be able to use to get better things, to make more better stuff, and just see anything that you want me to make. Like, I don't know, just off the top of my head, a Warhammer Space Marine, maybe. I'll see how I do. But yeah, that's simply it. I'm going to leave the video there now. Bye.